Now this bed, I just cleared it from a whole bunch of tomatoes that I had just threw here on this corner, and this is one of the surviving ones that I pulled out. Doesn't look too healthy, but I'm sure it'll survive. And this is another one that I just put in the container. So hopefully they grow. This ones are the French squash. They're supposed to be round, maybe about the size of a softball, baseball. I think more of the size of a baseball. So these ones have kind of spaced out real well, so hopefully they don't fight with each other. Now these ones are some Chinese cucumbers. We'll see what kind, how they taste and how they grow. I put it against the wall, so hopefully I'll build a trellis. This one over here is some onions. I just put it in here. There's no roots in it, and so far it's been there for about 3 days, and it doesn't look like it's wilting or dying, anything like that. So hopefully it'll grow roots. I'm not sure if it will or will not. To the right over here is my other set of tomatoes. This is the yellow pear tomatoes. It's supposed to be about 2 inches big, but these ones are growing no more than about an inch. But I will treat them just like they were cherry tomatoes. You can see they're growing in abundance, pretty similar to the way cherry tomatoes grow. Over here is the okra in the container. I had actually grown these, a whole bunch of these, and this is the only one that survived. I had aphids just killing them off, and you can see it looks like it's starting to grow some fruit. So hopefully within the next 3 weeks or so I'll be able to harvest some okra. These ones are some more jalapenos that I had put on this side. Right beside the red bell peppers that have given me about 8 or 10 fruits, and you can tell they're starting to grow a little bit bigger and starting to change color. These ones are the yellow bell peppers. You can see there's some tape there. My dog's actually trampled on the plant, and I taped it up, and it seems to still be surviving. Along with this Big Bertha, you can see the tape that I put in here, and it's holding up. This one is the Anaheim peppers. For some strange reason, the past week I've had some plants, primarily the peppers, starting to look like this, where the leaves look like they're wilting. I'm not overwatering them, and as you can tell by the ground, they don't look very dry. So if anyone can help me figure out what's going on, maybe I need to transplant them, or maybe there's some sort of bug in the ground. So if you guys can help me out. These ones are my better producing Lemon Boy tomatoes. Initially it started off really slow, but I can easily count maybe at least 20 fruits growing. It's growing really tall. Over here are the Roma tomatoes. For some strange reason it's growing tall here, but everything else in here has stopped growth there. These ones are my Better Boy tomatoes, as you can see. Oh, I'm sorry, the Early Girl tomatoes. The color is starting to change, and I'll be able to harvest them. These ones, I believe, now are the Better Boy, slightly bigger than most of the tomatoes that I have. Some more Roma tomatoes, and these ones are my cherry tomatoes. I'll harvest later on after breakfast, and some more tomatoes. So that's my tomato bed right here, with some more peppers in the background. Behind these roses that I cut, they kind of grew pretty quick. The snow peas that started to yield a lot of fruit, and all of a sudden they started dying. So I guess I'll just give up on that one and start again next season. These ones are some Ichiban eggplants I had transplanted. You can see the number of fruits that it's yielding. But for some strange reason it seems like it stopped growing. Partly maybe because I transplanted them. Over here is the hot banana peppers. These ones have been great producing, as you can see. This one is pretty much ready to harvest. It's the size of my hand, so I'll harvest that a little bit later on. Right beside it is the zucchini squash. This is actually something that I had planted in abundance last year, and they produced a lot for me. But this year I didn't grow these until now, so hopefully I can still get some more and be able to harvest later on. These ones are the gypsy peppers. Initially they were kind of dying off on me, and I'd put them in a container and they started growing well, and so then I decided to say that they were ready to go and go back into the ground. This one is an eggplant I planted last year. The reason I stopped planting last year, growing them last year, was because it got infested. Everything had gotten infested with spider mites, more in particular the tomatoes, and so I just ripped them all apart, and this is actually the only one that survived. So it's great that it survived, and you can see it's yielding good sized fruits. Over here some edamames. I had actually started these bottle greenhouses, but I had initially forgot to take off the cap, and so a couple of them started dying, and this is the only one that survived. These two plants over here. Over here some more Tabasco peppers. Over here are my string beans. I just kind of let grow. I didn't put any stakes or support in it, so I'll just be cutting them as I see them. Over here is some more cucumbers that I had planted. Hopefully they start growing and producing some more still. This is the artichoke. It's supposed to get a lot bigger than this, but so far in the past 2 months this is the growth I've had. Beside it is some Brussels sprouts I planted in February, and turns out this is supposed to be a winter fruit, and so that's why it's really slow. But I throw them in here, and for some strange reason, I don't know what these holes are. There might be pests eating it, but hopefully they start producing some good Brussels sprouts. And another one of the asparagus. Over here, my grandpa used to plant these a long time ago in Louisiana when I was a kid, and this one's called a bitter melon. In Tagalog we call it ampalaya. So I'm really excited to go ahead and get these growing. Really good for blood pressure. And at least as far as Filipinos are one of the only ones, and maybe the other Asian community eat these kinds of melons. Over here, don't know what kind of squash this is, so I'll give you an update on it when it starts yielding fruit. Over here, my mom's apple tree and a pomegranate tree. And these are the other tomato plants that I just threw over here. These are the ones I just had in containers and just started growing. And then back here are the cucumbers that I just threw in there. So hopefully they grow. And that is my garden update for